Good afternoon, friends. Important video. In recent times, we are finding that credit, GST Input Tax Credit, is being denied to the buyer, to the recipient, on the pretext that supplier is non-existent at the address given at the time of registration, or he is not having the business premises at registered address in GST, or he may have taken registration by fake documents. Lot many dispute in GST Input Tax Credit. Recently, Hon'ble Andhra Pradesh High Court, in the case of Arhaan Ferrous and Non-Ferrous Metal Private Limited, a very good judgment. Responsibility of purchasing dealer, the buyer, is to prove that he has made a genuine purchase, bona fide purchase, only by establishing that he has cross-checked the GST number, GST registration number of the supplier, seller on GSTN common portal. And quite obvious, if he has cross-checked and verified GSTN number of the supplier and that GSTN is the active number, then quite obvious he has taken due diligence that this supplier is existing, and he has further cross-checked the compliances on the part of the supplier, because active number, GSTN is active number. Having said that, what happened in this particular case? That Revenue Authority has detained the goods in transit from Vijayawada to Telangana, and Revenue Authority has initiated action proceedings against the respondent, who is a consignor, supplier of goods, on two grounds. First, he is found to be non-existent at registered premises, and second, he is not holding business premises at the address given for the registration. So this proceedings got initiated under section 130 of CGST Act, which is confiscation of goods against consignor, supplier of goods. Now, since he was found to be non-existent and he was not holding business premises at the given registration address, Department Revenue Authority has roped in against the petitioner, purchasing dealer, who has purchased the goods. Proceedings was initiated against the consignor, supplier, under section 130. He was non-existent and his business premises was not existing. He is not holding any business premises at the given address. Keeping this context in mind, and proceedings initiated against the respondent, who is a supplier, question was, can any proceedings be initiated against the purchasing dealer? Am I right? Who is a buyer of goods? Honorable AP High Court has held the responsibility of purchasing dealer would be that he has made bona fide purchase by establishing that at the time of purchase he has cross-checked and verified GST number of seller, consigner, who is a supplier. And we see the normal status, active status of the supplier, seller in normal course of business. And as per section 155, burden of proof, of course, on the recipient. But what most we can do? Can we really go back and check? Or are we supposed to be aware of credential and business activity of the supplier? Are we supposed to know that the supplier, who is a consignor in this case, has taken registration by producing fake document? Are we supposed to know that? And do we have any mechanism to know whether supplier has taken registration by producing fake document? Do we have any system available? Are we really go back and check all credential and business activities of the supplier? In this Honorable AP High Court judgment, which is a laudable judgment, has held that responsibility of purchasing dealer is to ensure he is making bona fide purchase and he is cross-checking that the active GST number of the supplier available on GST and Common Portal. And he need not be aware of credential and business activities of the supplier, or he should not be aware of that this supplier has taken registration by producing fake documents. That is the judgment coming from Honorable AP High Court. And when this proceedings initiated against the consignor supplier under section 130, then department should not have roped in against the petitioner, purchasing dealer, in the context of, because proceedings was initiated against the supplier, consignor. If at all department wanted to initiate any proceedings against the petitioner, purchasing dealer, then they could have invoked the proceedings and provision under section 129 of CGST Act, which is detaining goods and conveyance in transit. Red bit section 130, confiscation of goods. Red bit section 68 of CGST Act, compliances towards eBay bill. Red bit rule 138A of CGST rules. So crux of the judgment is, जो परचेजिंग डीलर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि उसने जेन्युइनली और बोनाफाइडली गुड्स परचेज किए हों. जिस टाइम पे परचेज किया वो चेक कर ले कि सप्लायर का जीएसटी नंबर जो जीएसटीएन पोर्टल पे है वो एक्टिव है या नहीं. इस जजमेंट में ये भी कहा गया that purchasing dealer की ये responsibility नहीं है. He need not be aware the credential and business activities of the supplier, or supplier has taken registration by producing fake documents. अगर कंसाइनर सप्लायर के अगेंस्ट में कोई प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट हुई है अंडर सेक्शन 130 और सप्लायर नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट पाया गया और ही इज नॉट होल्डिंग एनी बिजनेस प्रमाइसेस एट गिवन एड्रेस, जब आपने सप्लायर के अगेंस्ट में प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट की है तो आप इस प्रोसीडिंग्स को रिसिपिएंट के एंड पे लेके नहीं जा सकते अनलेस आपने प्रॉपर प्रोसीडिंग्स अंडर सेक्शन 129, रेट बिट 130, रेट बिट 68 ऑफ CGST एक्ट and read with rule 138A of CGST rule रिसिपिएंट जो परचेजिंग डीलर है, पिटिशनर है, उसके अगेंस्ट में स्टार्ट की हो। यानी आपने परचेजिंग डीलर के अगेंस्ट में कोई प्रोसीडिंग स्टार्ट नहीं की जस्ट बिकॉज सप्लायर फाउंड टू बी नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट, जस्ट बिकॉज सप्लायर ने मान लीजिए फेक डॉक्यूमेंट दे के रजिस्ट्रेशन लिया है। उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में आप सीधे रिसिपिएंट, बायर, परचेजिंग डीलर के एंड पे पहुंच गए and detaining the goods not workable. So this is very good judgment. In continuation thereof, we have seen in recent times lot many GST dispute only on GST ITC. Sometime supplier found to be non-existent or supplier registration got cancelled with retrospective date, and department dispute GST Input Tax Credit in the hands of buyer, recipient. Just because supplier is non-existent, just because supplier registration got cancelled with retrospective date. There are lot many judgment which is there from Odisha High Court, Bright Star Plastic Industries Limited, Calcutta High Court judgment, LGW Industries Limited, followed in Sanchita Kundu, Gargo Traders, and it is being stated credit can't be denied in the hands of recipient buyer unless department prove connivance, hand in gloves between supplier and recipient. Just because supplier found to be non-existent या supplier ने फेक रजिस्ट्रेशन लिया है या सप्लायर का रजिस्ट्रेशन विथ रिट्रोस्पेक्टिव डेट से कैंसिल हो गया, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि जो क्रेडिट बायर ने ली है वो फेक हो जाएगी। जिस टाइम पे बायर ने खरीदा था उस टाइम पे वो दोनों एक्टिव नंबर थे, सप्लायर और रिसिपिएंट। सप्लायर जीएसटी का फुल कंप्लायंस कर रहा था। जस्ट बिकॉज 1 साल बाद या 2 साल बाद या 3 साल बाद सप्लायर फाउंड टू बी नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट या उसका रजिस्ट्रेशन कैंसिल कर दिया गया विथ रिट्रोस्पेक्टिव डेट, जस्ट उस वजह से पुराने पीरियड की ट्रांजैक्शन फेक नहीं हो सकती जब तक कि डिपार्टमेंट ये प्रूव ना करे कि दोनों में कनाइवेंस है, हैंड्स इन ग्लोव्स, दोनों मिलके चोरी कर रहे थे। जस्ट एलिगेशन के बेसिस पे जीएसटी इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट को डिनाई नहीं किया जा सकता। It's a good judgment from AP High Court. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Thank you very much.